Hey, how's it going? So Dr. Show here, and today I'm going to quickly run through all the new features and main changes in Fortnite version 7.20. Weapons and items. There's a new weapon called the Scoped Revolver. Now this new weapon comes in two forms. You've got both an epic and legendary variant. The main difference between the two Scoped Revolvers is damage, with the epic variant dealing 42 base damage and the legendary variant setting you back 44 damage, so it's not too much of a difference. Headshots will do 84 damage on the epic and 88 on the legendary version. The cool thing about this weapon though is its range. It's just absolutely insane. You can easily hit people over 250 meters away. Now the last thing to note about this Scoped Revolver is that it uses medium bullets, so that's the same type that the assault rifles and the 6-shooter use. Moving on, we have a new item called Gliders. This is the latest attempt by Epic to try and add redeploy into standard game modes, and you know what, I think they've done a pretty good compromise. So gliders are a rare item that once picked up takes up an inventory slot. They come with 10 charges and are used the same way as redeploy always is, so you just hit your jump button while you're in the air. When you use all 10 charges, the item will disappear. Further, in situations where you can normally use redeploy, such as using a launch pad or using a rift to go, this actually doesn't reduce the amount of charges on your glider, which is good. You can find these gliders in all the usual spots, including chests, llamas, and vending machines. Moving on, there's heaps of little adjustments here and there, with some of them being more important than others. I reckon these first two are pretty big adjustments though. So small shields, or minis, have had their maximum stack size decreased from 10 to only 6. All the sniper rifles in the game have had their projectile trajectory changed to be the same as the heavy sniper rifle. So basically what this means is that the bolt action, suppressed, and semi-auto sniper rifle, as well as the hunting rifle, all now have much less bullet drop off. A few items have had their rarity changed. Balloons and stink bombs have had their rarity changed from epic to rare. This Scoped AI has changed from having a rare and epic version to having an uncommon and a rare version. So this means that what used to be the purple Scoped AI is now the blue, and what was the blue Scoped AI is now green. The minigun has also had a few adjustments. It now overheats similar to the turret or the planes gun. So this overheat occurs after you continuously fire it for about 6 seconds. The wind-up time, which is the time that the gun takes to start firing after you press shoot, has also been reduced by 37%, so the minigun will start shooting a lot quicker. And lastly, the audio for the minigun has been changed. It now sounds like this. The drop rate of all the trap items have had a few changes. Now I won't go into the specific numbers, but here's the general idea of what has changed. Cozy campfires and launch pads have had their drop rate increased, while the mounted turrets have had their drop rate decreased. The chance of any trap items spawning as floor loot has also been increased. Moving on, first shot accuracy, which for those who don't know means that the first shot you fire is more accurate. This feature has been around for a while, but now it will work while riding ziplines or while your player's feet are frozen. Next is that the reticle dot on scoped rifles has been reduced in size. This was changed because the old reticle made it seem like you were on target even if you weren't, so this is a good update. The last item adjustment is more UI change, but I thought it was pretty cool. The different types of ammo now have super crispy icons that make them look more realistic. Gameplay. The zipline has had a few changes that improve its functionality. You can now change direction by using the movement button rather than just jumping around like a madman. Also now when you jump on a zipline, instead of going 0 to 100 real quick, you'll gradually accelerate over time until you reach max speed. Also when you're riding a zipline, you'll destroy player buildings that are in the way to form a clear path. Moving on, we have some changes to building mechanics. This first one is really good. So you know the situations when you go to build a wall, but it places mostly in the ground? Now this was always bloody stupid, and Epic finally agrees. They have made it so that when 70% of a wall is going to be underground, then an additional top piece will be built at the same time and won't cost any resources. You can see the difference here, pre-patches on the left. There's also been a couple of sensitivity changes. So on console, the edit sensitivity is now the same as your building sensitivity. They've also added a third decimal place in the sensitivity settings, so you can get it exactly how you like, mate. The way vehicles do damage to players has been changed. Vehicle impact damage will now respect shields. In other words, when you get hit by a plane or a car, it will take damage off your shields first, like it probably always should have. Speaking of planes, your whole squad will now take damage when a plane explodes, and similarly this damage will be taken off your shields first. And lastly, and to be honest, the most important update is that the infinite dab has been buffed. You can now dab for an extra hour while you're in the lobby, bringing it from 10 to 11 hours. Look, it's still not quite infinite, but it's definitely making progress. Game modes. There's a new limited time game mode called One Shot. In this mode there is super low gravity and every player starts with 50 health. Snipers are the only weapons and bandages are the only healing item. This should be pretty fun. Bug fixes. There was heaps of bug fixes in this patch and I'm not going to go through all of them, but here's a few that I reckon are pretty important. Players will no longer receive credit for a no-scope in the elimination feed when they use a scope to eliminate a player. They fixed instances of glider redeploy not working when you jump out of planes. They fixed the preview length on many emotes in the lobby, so now you can hear the full music track. They fixed some issues with ziplines, such as being launched across the map, and fixed how gliders and umbrellas sometimes looked like really whack when you were dropping from a bus. They'd be sideways and twisted round. Anyway, that's all the main features and changes to Fortnite in version 7.20. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, mate. Also, somehow we've got a bloody creator code now, so if you want to support the channel, use code TOPITRY in the item store. Cheers, mate. Anyway, thanks for watching, have a good one, we'll see you next time.